Step into the intriguing world of discovering trends in data-driven real estate management. With Actoren, this becomes a fascinating and efficient journey. Our timeline tool makes time traveling your real estate through various time periods like months, quarters, or years a breeze. The timeline, prominently placed at the top of the toolbox, offers you a choice of 3 lines for years, quarters, or months. Although you can place the timeline anywhere, I usually prefer somewhere at the top. Almost all data tools in your toolbox are sensitive to the timeline. They consult the timeline to determine which data to display. Therefore, if you change the timeline, the data on your worksheet also changes. In this video, I use the pivot table to explain the functioning of the timeline. You can select one or multiple periods. To select multiple contiguous periods, use the Shift key, just like in Microsoft Office. With each adjustment of the timeline, you will see that the data on the worksheet adjusts itself. So, not just the pivot table, but also the cards and tables. It only displays that part of the portfolio that was owned or managed during the selected periods. The larger the range of the timeline, the more data becomes visible. However, the timeline is more versatile than merely comparing successive years or months. It enables you to determine your helicopter view with which you view your data. You can accumulate your data per year, quarter, or detailed per month. With the timeline, you can essentially fly up and down with your helicopter, allowing you to get a general or detailed view of your data, depending on what you need for your analysis at that moment. Secondly, you can not only compare contiguous but also individual periods over the years. You could, for instance, select 3 consecutive years, and only choose the month of July. Always using the Control key, just like in Office. Thirdly, you can determine the order in which the periods are displayed. Often, you don't want the current period all the way on the right but placed on the left of your overview, with the remaining periods on the right. Actoren listens to the order of your selection and displays the data in the pivot table in the order you have selected in the timeline. So, you can also place the last month on the left, exactly as you wish. And you can save your choices, so you only have to make them once. You do this with the button, located at the top left. When you save this and open this worksheet the next time, you will see exactly the same periods selected by you. Also, the order of your selection is saved and maintained. There is no direct link between the reference date and the timeline, you can set each separately. You can, therefore, also place a reference date before or after the timeline. For instance, if you want to look back at a certain reference date in the past, or are interested in other months than the current month. This is one of the practical aspects of Actoren. You don't have to keep adjusting the reference date to fall within the timeline. Which tools exactly use the timeline? This will become clear to you almost immediately, because in Actoren you see the data as you set it. But to give an impression, most tools respond to the timeline, so not just the complex and unit table, but also the other tables, the maps, histograms, key values, pivot tables, and graphs. The Rent Overview Table tool, on the other hand, primarily responds to the reference date, because you want this overview on a precise date. And with pivot tables or graphs, the timeline is optional. You have the option to select the timeline as X or Y axis. You can place one timeline on your worksheet, just as you only have one reference date. If you want more timelines, you have to use a separate worksheet. We have done this on purpose. This way, Actoren ensures that all data on a worksheet is synchronized, and you can trust this. But what if you don't have a timeline on your worksheet, and yet place a tool that responds to the timeline? In that case, Actoren uses the reference date and assumes the month of the reference date. So in the pivot table, you will see data from only 1 month. If you want to see more, you first need to place the timeline on your worksheet and set it to the period you want to see. So far about the timeline. In this video, we used a pivot table to illustrate the use of the timeline. In the next video, we reveal the secrets of placing a pivot table in Actoren. Don't worry, working with pivot tables in Actoren is easier than finding an elephant in a hallway. You will discover how to quickly and easily set up and adjust the pivot table to visualize the information you need.